Hello and welcome to Social Work Feud. I'm your host, Anna. Here are our contestants, Nadia and Emily. Okay, today we're going to... Question 1. What are the core values? Nadia.
Service, dignity and worth of a person, and social justice.
Service, dignity and worth of a person, and social justice. So that's 3 points.
Yeah.
There are 3 answers left. Do you want to guess or give Emily a chance?
I'm going to give it a guess.
Okay, go ahead.
Clients.
Wrong. Emily, go ahead.
Importance of human relationships, integrity, and competence.
Congratulations, you have 3 remaining points. Our next question is, what are the ethics? Nadia.
There's a responsibility to the clients.
Correct. Nadia gets a point. Okay, Emily, you want to guess?
In practice,
That's right. Next up.
To your colleagues.
That's right. To your colleagues. Nadia gets 5 points. Emily.
to the broader society.
Emily gets a point. They are tied. Next.
As professionals.
Yeah. Nadia. All right, last point.
As professionals.
That's right. Okay, next question. What are the levels of social work? Nadia.
One of the levels is micro.
That is correct. Nadia gets a point, making her in the lead. Next, Emily.
One of them is mezzo.
That is right. Tie it up again. Nadia?
Macro.
Correct. Nadia's in the lead for this question. Last question. What are the steps of the planned change model? Emily.
Engagement.
Correct. Emily gets a point. Nadia, up next.
Termination.
Correct. Back in the lead. Nadia. All right, Emily, up next.
Intervention.
Correct. Nadia.
Evaluation.
Correct. Nadia, in the lead again. All right, Emily.
Assessment.
Correct. We have a tie.
Thank you for watching Social Work Feud. I hope you enjoyed it.
So now we're going to dive in to those topics we were talking about earlier, but go a little bit more in depth. So starting with the 6 core values, we have service, and it is a social worker's first and main goal to provide service to those who need it most, no matter the monetary gain. Social justice, fighting social injustices, ranging from poverty and unemployment to oppression between cultural and ethnic diversity, is a big part of a social worker's life. They fight for those who need it most and those who don't have a voice. Going on to dignity and worth of a person. Obviously, each person has, worth and dignity, but as social workers, we believe that each person deserves that respect simply because they are human, no matter what they've done in their past or where they plan to go in their future. Just because some mistakes were made doesn't mean someone is worthless. 4, importance of human relationships. Recognizing that for change to happen, you need to have a support system and should have that in place first. So that way you can build on it and keep that strength throughout the journey, I guess. And then integrity, acting in the best behavior, not lying or cheating to get ahead or just in general, working to maintain a strong but respectful reputation. And lastly, competence, always learning and improving your skills as a social worker and always moving to make strides in that.
Next, we're going to talk about ethics. The first part of ethics is ethical responsibility to the clients. Our clients are our first priority. We must build them up and make sure that they know all their rights within confidentiality and consent. If they are struggling to understand or we are lacking knowledge to help them, we must educate ourselves on their situations and culture as well to do what we can to help them communicate with us. A professional relationship should be the only type of relationship we have with our client, nothing more, because they are vulnerable to our help and can see us as more because we are helping them. So don't have sex with them and, don't hang out with them outside of work. Don't have a proper normal friendship with them outside of work. It's just client to client. Next, we're going to talk about the ethical responsibilities to colleagues. Colleagues should be treated a lot like clients in terms of confidentiality, sexual harassment, and respect. A professional relationship must be maintained. If one person has authority over the other, then no other relationship can happen. They should never discriminate against a colleague because of who they were born as. If a colleague is going through unethical things, then you have to talk to them, discourage it, and report it. For example, your friend lets you know that they have developing feelings for you and would like to see where they go if you're open to it. If this person has no authority over you, you have no authority over them. Therefore, you can go on to lunch with them. Next, we're going to talk about ethical responsibilities in the practice setting. Social workers should always come prepared for work and respect everyone in their office. Billing should accurately show the services that we are provided, staying committed to employers and working to improve conditions at all times. Record storing should be done electronically or on paper. They should be accurate and organized and protect the client's privacy as much as possible. Social workers can request labor unions and engage in organized action for formation and participation. Next, we're going to talk about ethical responsibilities as professionals. Social workers must remain as professional as possible. They shouldn't commit any crimes or discriminate of any group of people. They cannot let their current life situations interfere with their judgment calls with their clients. They should always clear up any misunderstandings they have with clients and maintain a professional relationships with them outside of the office by not engaging in uninvited socialization. Next, we'll talk about the responsibilities to the social work profession. Social workers should work to improve and maintain the ethical standards of the National Association of Social Work, otherwise known as NASW, whether that's through research and study, contributing time, helping colleagues, and doing what you can to prevent anything unethical. Lastly, we'll talk about ethical responsibilities to the broader society. If a social worker sees an emergency that could use their skills and techniques, they should jump in and help to the best of their abilities. So social workers should also have their clients' best interests in heart at all times. This includes promoting the welfare of society or a global scale.
So next we're going to be discussing the different levels of social work.
Okay, there's the micro level, which is schools and students. So we're going to write that in here. And there's the meso level, which is social media, helping out with the community, correct?
Yeah. So working in
community work,
shelters, stuff like that.
And then macro would be financial aid,
political work.
And then, like, something like the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
That's that. That's the
levels of social work. So now I'm going to talk about the plan change model. So it starts with engagement first, and this is just beginning to build a relationship and trust with the client, identifying concerns that the client might have or issues that are going on in their lives. Next is assessment. So this is gathering information about the client's situation, problem, issues that they are dealing with every day, and then decide what needs to change and how to go about doing so. And then the third step is an intervention step, which is having an objective or goal for both you and your client, making it very clear what is hopefully going to happen. Deciding who needs to do what work, and then how the outcome can turn out best for the situation. The fourth step is evaluation. So going through with the plan and tracking the progress. This is also a time to make any changes or tweaks as needed. The last step is termination. So you're looking back at all the progress that you've made with your client, but at this point the relationship does need to end, and then just tell the agency of any improvements or things that didn't work out, different changes that can be made in the agency.
Next, Nadia will discuss working with the diverse groups.
So in class, we learned a lot about different populations, and between the site visits that we went on as groups and then the speakers that came in to talk to us, we definitely got a wide range of different populations. So we learned about what it's like working with pregnant mothers at Bethany Christian Services, how it's not an easy job, but it is one that does need to be done, and it differs greatly depending on each mother. Working with many different populations at Spectrum Health in Big Rapids, and how that's just kind of on a bigger level throughout the hospital. Our speakers that came into class told us about helping with the LGBTQ plus clients and the different needs that we should be sensitive to. And then we also learned about about Hurricane Katrina and how that affected the New Orleans residents in the video that we watched in class. So now Emily's going to talk about the dynamics of intimate partner violence.
Yes. So there is the nonviolence circle that we talked about in class. There's non-threatening behavior. There's respect, trust and support, honesty and accountability, responsible parenting, shared responsibility, economic partnership, and negotiation and fairness. And then we also talked about the phases of violence in a domestic violence relationship. So first off, it starts with the honeymoon phase. So that's like, saying I love you a lot, like really cherishing your partner. But then like tension starts building, like you're fighting a lot. You're just not getting along. And then the acute abuse. So that's like when everything really blows up and it's pretty quick, like it's basically a fight. This is the longest phase. This is the quickest phase. I'm spelling that wrong.
Sorry.
No, it's right. And then this one's like the lovey-dovey stage, as I said. Yeah, it kind of all depends. Like throughout time, this stage tends to shorten as these ones become longer and more dramatic. So like some of the definitions for partner violence is there's physical, so that'd be like hitting, kicking, restricting, restraining, assault into the third degrees. There's psychological, which would be like threats, like degrading your partner, basically being like, oh, you're lazy, you don't do anything with your life, and so forth. And there's like loving with conditions, otherwise known as being controlling, telling your partner who they can and can't hang out with, when and where they can go, and so forth like that. There's also like crazy making is what we call it in class. So it's basically like misunderstandings that really like you think you're going like saying it right, but like you're not really saying it right, or basically like, oh, I never said that stuff. And there's manipulation as well. And then there's the sexual, so just basically like anything sexual, like, oh, you have to do this because I did this for you. Or there's like revenge porn, as we called it in class, and just stuff like that. And then there's also stalking, so like physically following the victim around, hacking them, wanting evidence from where they went, who they're with, and so forth. So that basically sums up the intimate partner violence.
So now we are going to talk about sort of what we got out of the class. So I'll start by saying when I started this class at the beginning of the semester, I figured I was just going to want to work with kids because that's what I knew and that's what I liked. But throughout the site visits and the different people that came in to speak to us, I definitely feel like I don't want to work with kids as much. I'm thinking the population I'd want to work with is incarcerated adults, which is something I'd never thought about before. So that was really exciting for me. And I also got to learn like throughout learning the like meso, macro, micro levels of social work. I think I've pretty much decided to work on the meso to macro level. At least for now, that's what I've decided. But yeah, I'm really excited about taking what I know now about different populations into future courses and hoping to have that help shape a final decision at some point.
So I'm kind of along the same lines as Nadia. Like, I kind of really want to work with children, and that class has kind of just like defined it a little bit more for me. At first, like, I just wanted to be like family, working like on the micro level, just like individually with family members and like their children, and like figuring out like their issues and working through it with them. But now I'm kind of thinking about like going into the schools, which I never thought I was going to do. I shadowed a social worker at a school, and I was like, oh, it's subpar, it's okay, it's not, I don't know, that's really what I do with my life. But now I'm kind of really leaning towards it. I'm still really leaning towards like CPS, like doing the family stuff, but I'm kind of more lenient now towards like working in a school. Like, I want to help the kids who like struggle and whatnot. Like, I've had a lot of like struggles in my life that have led me up to wanting just to help the children, just because of the like the age that like I started really struggling. So I just like, I feel like I'd relate better to the younger society. So
yeah, thanks for watching.